Tadyuktam akilang vastu vyavaharastadhanvitaha tasmat sarvagatang brahma kshire sarpirivakile. Tadyuktang, pervaded by that Brahman, akilang, all, vastu, objects, vyavaharaha, actions, tad anvitaha, are possible because of that. Tasmat, therefore, sarvagatam, permeating everything, Brahma, Brahman, kshire, in milk, sarpihi, butter, iva, like, akile, in everything. Brahman pervades all objects. Brahman facilitates all actions. Therefore, Brahman permeates everything as butter pervades milk. Namaste. So this is another wonderful verse which reveals the actual position or nature of Brahman. It penetrates everything as existence, consciousness or cognizability, and bliss, or the pleasure that that object delivers. All objects are pleasurable to someone. So Brahman is that pleasure. Brahman is also the consciousness that makes it possible to cognize that object. And of course, Brahman is the existence potency that makes it possible for the thing to exist in the first place. Brahman is all that. And Brahman also facilitates all actions. And the commentary points out that what is meant here is the actions of the senses, the knowledge gathering and the work producing senses. The active senses are the mouth, the arms, the legs, the genital, and the anus. And the knowledge acquiring senses are the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the sense of touch. So all the actions of these senses are facilitated by Brahman in the form of the life force, prana. So in some places in the Upanishads, the prana is worshipped as Brahman because it's the representative of Brahman in the world of living beings. But actually, prana is derivative. It's one of the elements. It's derived from air. It is not the actual Brahman, but it represents Brahman as living force. And when the living force leaves the body at the time of death, everything stops. So that is the influence of Brahman among the living. And then it says, he permeates everything, like butter permeates milk. Well, most people today don't live on farms, so they don't know how butter is produced from milk. Basically, you allow the milk to clabber overnight, to ferment, and then you churn it, either by hand in a barrel or by a machine. And this brings out the butter. The butter precipitates out of the milk, which means it was there all along. And just the action of churning made it precipitate into butter. When that butter is purified, clarified, it becomes ghee, which is considered the essence of milk, pure butterfat. So in the same way, Brahman penetrates everything, permeates everything. And when they are churned by meditation, by contemplation, Shravana, Manana, and Siddhidhyasana, then Brahman is revealed. Or it seems to be extracted. It's not really extracted. It's already there. Just like the butterfat in the milk is already there. But we have to perform some work to see it, to extract it, to bring it out so that our senses can cognize it. In the same way, the sadhana chatushtaya, the 4 kinds of sadhana for realization, and the kind of sadhana derived from Shravana, Manana, and Siddhidhasana. Bring out the existence of Brahman. It's already there. But because our intelligence is covered by ignorance, we don't see it. We don't cognize it. So the process of sadhana is simply to remove that ignorance. And once we do, Brahman is obvious, huh? It's how can you miss it? Because it's the greatest power, the greatest existence, the greatest knowledge, and the greatest bliss. So this is Brahman, and everybody can realize this. Everybody has all the attributes, all the facility needed to realize Brahman. Huh? You have life, you have consciousness, and you have the urge to eliminate suffering. That's the most important part. Mumukshutvam, the desire for liberation. One of my roommates came to me last night and said, I'm tired of the material world. I want to go to be with Shiva. Will you show me the Shiva mantra? And this was great because I haven't been preaching to him at all. But I have been doing my own sadhana very regularly every day. And he smells the incense and hears the bell and hears me chanting in the beginning when I'm chanting loudly. So just by the influence of association, he also developed the urge for liberation, the desire for freedom from the suffering of this material world. He says to me, this material world is so nasty. There's always problems. Things are breaking down. His father passed away a couple of years back, and that was a big shock. And now he's going through Shade Sati and also Saturn return at the same time. Poor guy. And so everything is failing. But he can see that he knows, because his chart is very similar to mine. He knows I'm going through pretty much the same thing, but I'm smiling. I'm happy. What's the difference? I'm doing disciplined sadhana every single day. And plus making these videos, which is, I tell you, a wonderful thing. I mean, I get so much bliss and ecstasy from making these videos. You can't understand unless you do something similar yourself. That any service to Brahman, any service to Shiva, Shiva is simply Brahman in disguise. Actually, we all are. But in Shiva, he is directly Brahman. We are covered by Maya, but he is free, even though apparently in form, because he is the first manifestation of Brahman in the universe. So to worship Shiva, and especially to chant Shiva mantra, Aum Namah Shivaya, Aum Namah Shivaya, is to approach liberation. And Shiva grants that liberation actually very easily. Vishnu can also give liberation, but he doesn't give it easily, and there's so many conditions attached. It takes a long time and so on, that Shiva is so easy. He's called Ashutosh. Ashutosh means easily pleased. He's also easily displeased, so you have to be careful. But Shiva accepts everyone. For example, he accepted Ravana and gave him all kinds of benedictions, made him very, very powerful for worshiping him with the din-din drums, so Shiva could dance. He loves that. And so he gave Ravana all kinds of powers. But then Ravana got puffed up and he misused his power. He abducted Sita, the wife of Sri Rama, And that was a big mistake, and it led to his downfall. So while access to Shiva is easy, and he accepts everyone, there's no qualification necessary. Just do the seva, do the puja, do the mantra. He accepts, and he reciprocates very quickly. But don't offend him. There's a nice story. Again, become mouse. One mouse went to a saintly person and said, "The cat is harassing me. Please make me a cat." So, all right, become cat. And so he went off. And then a few days later, he came back again. "Master, the dog is harassing me. Please make me a dog." Sometime later, he came back and said, "The humans are harassing me. Please make me a tiger." "All right, become tiger." And then he said, "This holy man should be tasty. I think I'll have him for lunch." But the holy man said, "Again, become mouse." So watch out. Don't offend your guru. Don't offend your deity. Don't offend the holy name. And you will receive all benefits and all blessings from them.
Om Tat Sat, Om Shakti.